How fine is the sister standing next to you? All these things, when in truth, those things have nothing to do with manhood. That's really just performance. And so I think we need to use the character principles.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Dr. Black, again, Isaac's song, excellent book. Again, just playing it. I was getting emotional at the gym. Like I'm over here working out. I'm like, dang, I'm about to cry real quick. Like it's crazy. And again, another line. What did pain teach you? Mm-hmm. That one, that sat with me. Mm-hmm. What does that mean to you? What did pain teach you, Dr. Black?
I think it's asking, like, never to let a difficult situation make you think that the problem is another person, right? You're never really fighting another person. All struggles are really between you and your destiny. You're never fighting someone else, right? Even at school, when it's like, oh my God, I got a D out of the class. The teacher didn't like me. That's not the problem, because somebody got an A. Somebody got an A.
You just weren't good enough.
It's just why wasn't it you? Yeah. But see, if one could tell themselves the truth, right, then they would come to understand that the teacher is irrelevant, right? Because even in a difficult situation, excellence is always possible, right? And so I think that question, what did pain come to teach you, is really asking everybody to look at yourself and to ask yourself, where did you fall short? What do you need to do a little bit more of? It's never what somebody else did to you. We and I've fallen into this so many times. We are so quick to believe that somebody else's shortcoming is the explanation for why I don't have what I have or why I messed up. It's never the explanation. It's never the reason.
Dig deeper. Yeah, indeed. I'm young, but when I started thinking about like fatherhood, things like that, I get scared because it's like, I don't want to pass down the same things that I had to deal with, right? So for young Black men who might be young fathers or Black men who might not be fathers just yet, how do we try to avoid passing down intergenerational trauma, Dr.
I'm going to say 3 things. 1, the best thing a young father can do for their child is to respect that child's mother. Yes, whether you like her, you don't, y'all together, you're not. You think she's wonderful. You think she's hell. Respect that woman. Mm-hmm. And speak about her respectfully to your child. We do a horrible job of this. Yes, sir. We use, too many times, couples use each other as a means of trying to gain leverage over a child, over a child's emotions. It's a horrible manipulation. So the first thing I would tell a young man is, be careful who you procreate with, because you will be tied to that sister the rest of your living days. Yes, the second thing I would tell him, if a young brother is trying to be an excellent father, which I think, of course, is a beautiful, beautiful thing, and that is spend most of your time not buying things. Spend most of your time physically nurturing and touching your child, which means hold their hand, comb their hair. See, I still can't figure out why fathers of daughters can't do hair.
Talk about it.
I still can't figure that out.
It's feminine, Dr. Black.
Right.
That's what they like to think.
And the problem with that, right, is that it bridges a gap, right? Because when a mama takes a son to the barbershop, is she being masculine? That's just the silliest, that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard of in life, right? If a son needs to take a bath at 5, at 7, no Black mother I know is apprehensive about taking a son into the bath.
Hey, that was my grandma. None. Yeah, you're not lying, Dr. Black.
Take them drawers off and get in this tub, right? But that's men will call a woman to bathe a girl. See, this is which means the breach and the gap is too large. But what we don't know is what's the consequence of this. And one of the things I've been thinking about, Kate, one of the consequences of this is our girls at 14, at 15, at 16 end up meeting 14, 15, 16, 17 year, and they come to the table too fragile and too insecure. And it's because their interaction with maleness has been too distant. The first time a young girl is intimate with another male is a boyfriend, that's a problem. Wow. It was supposed to have been her daddy.
Yes, Yes, sir, Dr. Black.
She was supposed to sit between his legs as he's doing her hair. She would know what a man smells like. She would know a male's energy. See, by the time she gets in front of, she's 15 and this boy is 16, his ability to take advantage of her is too easy. Because maleness is too unknown to her.
Wow.
That's the price we end up paying for that.
Yes, sir. Why do you think physical touch is so uncomfortable for most Black men? Because I didn't realize that I was falling into that same category until like 5 years ago, where hugging my father or like my grandfather felt weird. My grandfather, he was born in the early 40s, you know, so he grew up during that time of like sharecropping,
Sure.
all of that. And
Sure.
he could be very laid back, sweet spirit, but like when it comes to hugs, things like that, he's just very laid back with it. And
Sure.
then I realized other people's fathers,
Sure.
same way. Our brothers, we don't even hug our brothers. We just dap each other up.
Right.
We don't even say, I love you.
Right.
It's just like, I see you. But instead of just saying, I love you, why is that so hard for us when it comes to physical touch? Because I saw that affected me when it came to relationships.
Sure.
All of that as well,
Sure
where
it will.
I'm just too cool, laid back, all
Sure,
of that.
sure
Yeah.
will. Because touch insists upon vulnerability.
Yeah.
And vulnerability is something Black men absolutely avoid like the plague. Because vulnerability means that your heart is open.
Yeah.
Vulnerability means that the truth of who you are is about to be known. And the problem with that is that if nothing, Black manhood is a mask and a performance. And if you take out the mask, somebody's about to really see who you are.
That's right.
Right. And most of who we are and what we are, we will not be applauded for it. Right. As men. And the other thing is the worst thing, which is horrible. The worst thing I think most young Black boys think of that they never want to be is thought of as gay.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And because of that, they swing the other extreme. Right. The hyper masculinity. So everything is so masculinized to the point of it being sterile.
Yeah.
Right. And it has no real spirit and no real humanity in it. And the problem with that is we're far too homophobic as a people.
Yes, sir.
But also we, at some point, I want us to get smart enough to realize that gay kids keep coming.
Mm-hmm.
But gay kids keep coming because God is trying to tell us, I think, that there's a particular utility of gay kids in a community, and we actually need them. That's not the same thing as tolerate.
That's right.
We actually need them. The problem is ain't no parents praying for them, though. Nobody's welcoming a gay child. If people get one, they'll endure it. I don't know any parent who is praying for it and say, God, if you send me a gay child, I'd be so happy. Mm-hmm. I don't know any parents who's saying it yet. So a gay child has hell to pay because they get here and realize that none of them were beckoned, none of them were summoned, none of them were welcomed. And so they just have to endure being alive and among a people who never dreamed that they had any function.
My goodness. Dr. Black, from, having friends who were gay, from having mentors, like one of my biggest mentors in my life was a gay Black man, showed me everything. And from us talking, having conversations in college for 2+ hours about how he had fears if he had a child, he wouldn't want his own son to be gay.
Right.
And
which means to be like him.
That would hurt me because I'm like, what? Because he was like all the things that he would have to go through, all of that. How do we change this in our community? Because,
yeah, it's called self-hatred.
Yeah.
And in fact, what you realize, Caleb, which is a hard pill to swallow, is I think most Black people, if they could not have Black kids, they wouldn't.
How about that?
Yeah. Because I don't want my child to struggle, which is what a lot of people say whose kids end up being gay. Well, if you don't want your children to struggle, you can't have no Black ones. Because Black kids are going to struggle in America. They by virtue of being Black, not because something's wrong with you, right? And so I think that one of the things we need to do is to begin a campaign of touch. I firmly believe, Caleb, that if we touched Black boys, we could end the Black prison industrial complex in America. I think the touch would do it alone. If we touched Black boys, they would dream of how to please you. Yeah. I think the reason so many Black boys end up going to jail is because, and they couldn't explain it, but it's because emotionally they are untied and unconnected to anybody's heart.
This is heavy, Dr. Black. One film that has everybody talking, of course, and I know everybody probably asks you about it every single day, is Sinners. But
Yes.
you said something, and I was like, there you go, that the film is started and it ended in the church.
Sure.
And not too many people caught that. In the same church, though, just plenty of times people get church hurt. People's passions die. People are told that you're not good enough. Why is queerness such this taboo topic in the Black church? But then there's so many people who are same gender loving all throughout the church. But then when they show up to church, they have to hide those things.
Part of the culprit is the Bible itself, because the Bible does not celebrate queer people. In fact, the way most people read it, the Bible actually condemns them, right? And because of that, most churches, certainly Black ones too, have been using the Bible as its template, as the means and the measure by which it gets its guidance and its instructions. And part of that instruction is to absolutely to abhor, right, sexuality differences. And so I think the Bible is certainly at fault in that way. The irony is every church I've ever been to has some gay people in it, but that's because every community does,
Yes.
which really means in some ways the community is more fluid than the scripture, right? And what it also means is, I'm gonna just take a risk. It also means we're probably reading the wrong scripture. Yeah. That whoever wrote that didn't write it for a people as varied and as wonderful and as different and as various as Black people.
Yes, sir. Dr. Black, you once stated that when we are playing the role that's not ourselves, of somebody else, we're actually playing the role of the devil. Again, back to Sinners. How do we try to fit into our true, authentic selves as Black people, Black spirits, and not trying to fit into a white world?
I think by doing a very dangerous thing, Caleb, and that is, I think we should ask ourselves and be clear, what would you do and what brings you joy if you got no money for it? If you got no money for it at all, what would you do on the earth? If the earth provided all the, you got water, you have food, but there was no income anywhere every day, what would you do? And I think most people have no answer to that question, because we have become work horses. We have become, what's the word I want to use? Robots who are performing a service. And most people define themselves by the work they do. But see, it's not the same thing. Who you are and what you do is not the same definition. So sometimes folks will say, well, who are you? And folks will say, I'm a teacher. That's not who you are. That's what you do.
That's right.
Right? Who are you? I'm a construction worker. That's not who you are. That's the work you do. Right? So too many people define themselves by the utility of the ways in which the Western world uses their body. Right? Instead of who are you? Like what's your being? Like, what gift do you bring to the planet from the spirit realm? And I just think most people just never understand that and never get around to answering that question.
That's heavy. The spirit realm, right? I think about Annie in the film practicing hoodoo. I love seeing that. Unfortunately, though, throughout social media, a lot of Black Christians condemn the film, call it demonic, all of those things. But I'm like, this is what our people were actually doing. Hearing you say in the past about how basically Black spirituality was being masked in the Black church, African spirituality rather. And why is it so at this standpoint now that we have Black Christians who are anti themselves? How do we try to fix that, Dr. Black?
I think we need a new scripture.
Yeah.
No, literally.
Yeah.
We need a new scripture. The Bible is outdated in terms of its ability to articulate the complexity of Black existence. The second thing is, I think we need to overhaul the church. I don't think we should get rid of the building. We have a lot of real estate, in terms of physical real estate, literally in these buildings. But I think we need to overhaul the institution. And the third thing is we need some other institutions. The Black church is a good thing and wonderful, but we need some other institutions. We don't have enough institutions in our community. We need trauma centers, places where people can go to work out and work through trauma, right? I don't, everybody black I know talks about trauma and black folks in trauma, but there's nowhere
Where do we
anybody
go?
can go,
Wow.
right, to get any trauma help. I find that so ironic, right? We need some trauma centers. We need some healing centers, right? I think we need a more varied spirituality. Like, I think there need to be places where black people can go and learn about various forms of spirituality and various manifestations of God. Christianity's had its day, right? But what did our ancestors believe before they got here, right? And what belief system seems to ring true to your spirit? Not just what did grandma believe.
That's right.
So I think those things would be very helpful.
Indeed, brother. What does black healing look like to you then, Dr. Black? Us as a people, healing the right way.
I think many of the things I just said. I think the only other thing I might add is I don't know that I think that black men and women, I don't think grown adult black men and women know how to be, and I don't think we've been trained to actually be friends. Like I was telling a friend this the other day, every married man I know, all his friends are men.
That's a good observation, yeah.
And most women want them to be. We don't trust grown men with other women. Women don't trust them, men don't trust them, right? That's a sad thing. That a grown man can't have a dear close friend who is a woman. That's a problem, I think. And what it means is when it comes time for us to build together, right, our relationships are very, very, very elementary, if existing at all.
Yes, sir. Wow. During this time, on that same standpoint, on social media every single day, you see black men arguing with black women. How do we try to fix this? Because it's crazy, Dr. Black. Like every single day, you see arguments in the comments, black women saying black men aren't this, black men saying that black women aren't this, but we come from a black woman, you come from a black man. How do we try to fix this as a whole, as a people?
I have to be honest, I don't ever see that.
Oh, wow.
And I think I don't see it because I intentionally avoid it.
Yeah, that's good.
Which probably is my answer.
Yeah.
I think there's too much on social media that we digest. Some of it I think we should absolutely simply ignore.
Yeah.
There are certain things, that just I never, ever, ever behold. I never, ever, ever see on social media women talking negatively about black men. And again, it's very possibly because people don't send that to me.
Yeah.
They know not to send that to me.
Yes,
I don't honor that. I don't believe in that. And I think it's important for us to shield ourselves against forms of self-hatred. Right? Like, I think it's important that you don't eat everything in a grocery store, though it is available to you. I think one has to be intelligent enough to know what to eat and what not to eat. Just because it's available doesn't mean you should have it. So I think my first answer would be like let's stop digesting things that that make us regurgitate hatred.
Yes, sir. As a writer, well-known writer, killing it, what would you say was your overall takeaway from the film Sinners, from seeing it?
That I think we're at this place in time now where black creatives should simply create and should create for black people, regardless of what white people think about it, regardless of what some black people think about it. Just give us art that liberates. And for the people who it does not liberate, their time of freedom hasn't come. Right. But I think we can stop thinking we need to be safe now or be safe anymore. Safety doesn't breed freedom. If people don't like it, it's okay. If people hate it, it's okay. And so I think what Sinners really show is that Ryan Coogler was saying, the world can kiss my ass. I'm gonna say what I need to say. I'm going to create something that really, hopefully, will help my people see the magic and the power of who we are, regardless of what other people think. I just think we're there now.